Steve Jobs' persistence in the face of adversity is a powerful reminder that failure is not the end, but a part of the journey to success. The second major lesson he teaches us is, never give up when faced with obstacles. Many times, we encounter barriers that seem insurmountable, but it is precisely in those moments that our true strength emerges. Success is not a straight line, it is full of highs and lows. Jobs proved that with the right determination, we can overcome any challenge and come out stronger. When Jobs returned to Apple in 1997, the company was on the brink of collapse. He could have given up, he could have walked away, but he believed there was still something to be done. His vision wasn't just to save the company, it was to transform Apple into something even greater than before. With the launch of the iMac, he brought the company back to the top, showing the world that design, simplicity, and functionality were the pillars of a new technological era. And that's how he initiated a series of innovations that forever changed the way we connect with the world. The iPod, iPhone, and iPad weren't just products, they redefined entire industries. Jobs had a rare ability to predict the future, to understand what people wanted even before they knew it. He didn't create products just to compete in the market, he created experiences that transformed people's lives. This is the third lesson we can take from Steve Jobs' life: innovate with purpose. Jobs wasn't interested in creating more of the same. He wanted to create something new, something that truly made a difference. And for that, he dedicated himself with an almost singular obsession to quality and excellence. In his pursuit of perfection, he teaches us that if you want to make an impact, it's not enough to do what everyone else is doing. You need to think beyond, dare to be different, and, above all, believe in what you're creating. But what truly set Jobs apart from other great leaders was his deep belief that the journey is as important as the destination. He always said that the process of creation, the search for meaning in everything we do, is what truly matters. Working hard, facing difficulties, and still loving what you do, that is what makes success truly gratifying. He was the visionary genius who revolutionized the way we interact with technology. The man behind Apple and the iconic products that shaped the modern world. Today, we will explore the story of Steve Jobs, the entrepreneur who challenged conventions and built a legacy that continues to influence generations. Steve Jobs was born on February 24, 1955, in San Francisco, California, but was adopted by Paul and Clara Jobs, a middle-class couple. From a young age, Steve displayed an insatiable curiosity for electronics and a remarkable ability to question everything around him. It was his adoptive father, Paul, who taught him to take apart and rebuild devices, fostering his interest in technology and design. During high school, Jobs became friends with Steve Wozniak, an electronics genius who shared his passion for technology. This friendship would become the starting point for something revolutionary years later. Even though he wasn't a stellar student, Jobs always had a different vision of the future and believed that technology could change the world. In 1976, Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and Ronald Wayne founded Apple in the garage of Jobs' parents' house. They began working on the Apple I, a personal computer sold as a kit to be assembled by users. Although simple by today's standards, the Apple I was the first step towards something much bigger. The real success came with the launch of the Apple II in 1977. The Apple II was the first commercially successful personal computer and forever changed how people viewed computing. It brought Apple to the center of the tech revolution, and Steve Jobs was soon recognized as one of the great innovators of his time. In 1984, Steve Jobs introduced the Macintosh, a computer with a revolutionary graphical interface that was easy to use. The famous 1984 TV commercial, directed by Ridley Scott, marked Apple's entry as a disruptive force in the market. However, despite the Macintosh's success, Jobs' relationship with Apple executives began to deteriorate. In 1985, after conflicts with the board of directors, Jobs was forced to leave the company he had helped create. Determined to keep innovating, he founded Next, a company focused on computers for the education and business sectors. Although Next didn't achieve great commercial success, the technology they developed would be crucial for Apple's future. During this time away from Apple, Jobs also invested in a small animation company called Pixar. With Jobs at the helm, Pixar released its first major success, Toy Story, the first feature-length film made entirely in CGI. Pixar's success not only established Jobs as a visionary leader in a new industry but also gave him financial stability and prepared him for his triumphant return. In 1997, Apple was on the brink of bankruptcy, and Jobs was invited back. His return was a turning point. One of his first major actions was the launch of the iMac, a boldly designed computer that marked the beginning of a new era for Apple. The iMac was a success and revitalized the company, but this was just the beginning. In 2001, Jobs introduced the world to the iPod, a device that revolutionized the way people consumed music. With the slogan 1,000 songs in your pocket, the iPod dominated the digital music market and set Apple on a new growth trajectory. The impact of the iPod was immense, but Jobs already had an even more ambitious plan. In 2007, Steve Jobs unveiled the iPhone, a device that combined a phone, an iPod, and an internet browser, while also introducing a new platform for apps. The iPhone transformed the tech industry, reshaping the way we interact with the world and ushering in the smartphone era. It was Jobs and Apple's biggest success to date. In the years that followed, Apple continued to release innovative products under Jobs' leadership, such as the iPad, which once again redefined an entire market. With each new release, Jobs demonstrated his commitment to excellence in design, usability, and technological innovation. In 2011, after a long battle with cancer, Steve Jobs stepped down from Apple and passed away in October of that year. His death was felt worldwide, and he was honored as one of the greatest innovators and leaders in modern history. Though he is gone, Jobs' legacy lives on in every Apple device and in every person he inspired to dream big and think differently. The impact of Steve Jobs goes far beyond technology. He taught us that with vision, passion, and an unwavering determination to challenge the status quo, we can achieve incredible things. His motto, "Think Different," continues to inspire innovators and entrepreneurs worldwide, proving that innovation knows no bounds. Steve Jobs' story is a powerful reminder that success doesn't come without challenges. It takes courage to take risks, determination to keep going after failure, and the vision to see what others can't. Jobs didn't just build one of the world's largest companies, he created a legacy that endures and inspires future generations of visionaries. All of us, at some point in our lives, wonder if we are capable of achieving great things, of turning our dreams into reality. Steve Jobs' story teaches us that with persistence, passion, and an unwavering vision, we can not only achieve success but also change the world. Steve Jobs wasn't born into wealth. He was adopted by a middle-class couple and, from an early age, showed a restless and curious mind. He wasn't the best student in the class, but he was always someone who thought differently. Unlike many who follow conventional paths, Jobs believed in the power of questioning the status quo, of seeking solutions where no one else was looking. He instinctively knew that innovation comes from an unrelenting desire to challenge what already exists. From his youth, Steve Jobs was an example of someone who refused to accept limits. When he founded Apple with Steve Wozniak in a garage, he wasn't just building computers, he was starting a technological revolution. At that time, computers were giant, complicated, and accessible only to large companies. However, Jobs had a far more ambitious vision. He wanted to put a personal computer in the hands of every person, making technology something accessible and easy to use. He deeply believed that technology could change people's lives, and it was this belief that guided him throughout his journey. This is the first major lesson we can learn from Steve Jobs: don't be afraid to dream big. Many of us limit ourselves because we think our dreams are too big or that we aren't capable of achieving something so significant. But the truth is that all great achievements started as a dream, an idea that seemed impossible. Jobs shows us that dreaming big isn't just a choice, it's a necessity if we want to make a real impact in the world. Of course, Jobs' journey wasn't easy. Like any of us, he faced immense challenges. In 1985, just 9 years after founding Apple, Jobs was fired from the company he had created. Many would have given up at that moment, but Jobs saw it as an opportunity to restart and reinvent himself. He founded Next, which, although not a huge commercial success, developed technologies that would later be essential for Apple's revival.